Stephon Gilmore and Brandin Cooks sitting down with us right here, the Archer himself.
Let's go.
Gilly.
Let's go, yes.
What up, my dude? Good to see you.
Man? Good to see y'all.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Thanks for joining us here on 105.3 The Fan. It's great to see you again. Of course, we had a long conversation with Brandon last year on the tennis courts, and it's a special opportunity here on a football Friday going into the Super Bowl to talk with the two newest Cowboys, two new Cowboy stars from last year. How are you guys doing?
I'm good. Always good to see y'all. Always love hanging out with y'all.
Right on. Now, did you fly yourself down here?
No. That wouldn't have been too long of a flight, but the clouds getting out of Oregon right now, I wouldn't mess with it. Yeah.
Well, going into the offseason, assuming that you're back, Stephon, one of the conversations around the Cowboys is, do you guys feel like you have enough to take that next step?
I think we have enough, but I think we got to, if I'm back, have to make some moves, obviously, to fix the things we wasn't well at last year. Obviously, you always want to get better, and you got to leave that up to the the GMs and the coaches and the people in the front office to make those decisions.
You're such an attention to detail guy. When I watched you play all your whole career, and I'm watching tape, and you're scrambling on the back of the end zone, running into people and picks and stuff like that. Where was the communication? And we saw it a little bit in Green Bay in that game, and you're like thinking, they don't bust unless it's a communication or something happens.
Yeah.
Am I seeing it the right way, or is it more than that?
I think Green Bay had a great scheme for what we normally do, and like they established the run pretty well. And once you can run the ball, it's tough to stop an offense. And guys try to get out of position to stop the run, and I think they just play more physical than what we did that game, and that's why they won the game.
Some of the reactions have been explosive. I think it's like a historic level of frustration from some of the players and the fans and the media. How are you guys doing with it? Is it okay? Is it frustrating for you guys?
It's no question frustrating, especially when you really sit there and you feel like you have all the pieces, and you feel like, all right, this is our year, right?
Yeah.
You get to the first round and you get knocked out first round. It's going to sting for a while, but on the flip side of that, it's like, okay, is it going to feel you? How are you going to respond to that? And that's the mindset we got to have this offseason. Become more disciplined, work harder, and at the end of the day, tune out all that noise, because we ain't really done nothing yet.
Brandin, you guys, well, both of you are pros in the scouting world. Those guys are pros.
Yeah.
And it took. On radio, we're arguing in the first 5 weeks of the season. Get him going. Get him going. Was there any frustration because you didn't show it?
No,
you didn't show it at all. I mean, you could have maybe stepped up and said something, but you didn't. And they finally got it going. How was the early part of the season? Was it frustrating?
It was definitely tough because of what I know I provide for this offense, provide for my team. Because at the end of the day, I just want to win, right? And I wouldn't feel that way if I feel like I couldn't do it at a high level. But it was frustrating inside, but also at the same time, I know if you display that frustration, now you start to mess with the dynamic of the team, and it's just not worth it. Trust the process, trust coach, and then when your number is called, make sure you do something with it. So now they know. So when this offseason come, when we scheming, you game planning, make sure 3 is involved in that a lot.
Both of you guys have been in very high-profile situations, playing for the championship. What's the difference in being with the Cowboys? Like Tank said yesterday on First Take, it kind of feels like we're playing for the Super Bowl every week with the amount of pressure.
I don't think that. I just think, me coming from the places that I came from, and even just winning a Super Bowl, just tuning out all the noise, and just at the end of the day, you got to go in between the white lines no matter what nobody say, and win the football game and play at a high level. They're going to talk about you, but I feel like that's a good thing. Because I've been places where, they don't talk about you. So it's a good thing for me because, like I said, I take a full advantage of that opportunity.
As veterans, do you look at the roster being, capable or mentally tough enough or whatever it takes to focus like that?
I think, obviously we can get better. I think like me and B Cooks always try to get those young guys to, really focus more because that's any team. Young guys come in and they want to find a way how to get better, how to play 10 years in the league. So we try to do that as much as we can, and guys learn. They get better throughout the season, and that's what it takes.
How different are offenses now compared? I mean, you've been in the league for so long. These new age offenses, does it feel like a different sport?
I hate it. I hate going against the offense. I mean, him talk all the time, just like, man, like, why can't nobody just line up and just beat me? They just run around all day.
That's real tough.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's definitely tougher now. Guys not really running as many routes no more. But, you know, guys, these coaches getting so smart, they scheming you up and being able to take advantage of, you know, speed guys.
Well, that's what I was saying. Now, I see you running through trash. It's like watching Steph Curry play. You watch Golden State play. He's running his guys through all this. And then by the end of the day, it's like hands on hips. Man, stop running. Stop moving me around.
But on the other side of it, Brandon, how fun is it to play in these offenses where you're motioning all over the place? Does it feel like it's more and more creative?
No, I think it's awesome. It's definitely more creative, right? It's just really dressing it up a little bit. You get into those route concepts, but you able to make the defense think, right? And anytime they can think that split second, that may just be enough to be able to get in that open window. So it's definitely fun. And for me, as a guy that's fast and utilizing my speed to be able to get on a guy a lot faster, because now I'm not starting from stationary. I'm starting from a running start.
So how much more difficult is it like to install and learn, and everybody's being on the same page here, and then especially when you take that game plan on the road?
Great question. I mean, you would think it's tough, but I mean, we do such a great job with our cadence. It's just the feel thing, right? And but the road is probably the biggest challenge. But man, when we on the road, it's like a home game.
Awesome Cowboy fans out there.
So shout out Cowboys fans for that. Keep it going so we can keep all these motions going too.
It's Brandin Cooks and Stephon Gilmore with us here in the GBag Nation. I wonder if you guys can try and help us figure out the offense specifically. It seemed like things clicked after that San Francisco game. What went into those changes? And I know you guys do that cross the hall stuff during the bye week, which sounds badass. Did that have anything to do with it? I mean, what exactly went into? You guys were a completely different offense after the bye.
Yeah, I think obviously you scout what you're not doing well during the bye, and you try to figure out ways like, I don't know, on defense, how can we be better at this position, whether it's stopping the run, third down, whatever it is. And you just kind of key in, coaches change up calls and stuff like that to help players be better. So I just think, and like you said, we did the cross the hall thing where it helped out a lot, just seeing it from an offense perspective, and that helps out a lot.
And I mean, utilizing your best players. Like, I'll be the first one to always say, like, before that San Fran game, like, man, let's get CD the ball. Let's let us get him going early, right? Because then now people gonna start keying on him, and then I'm 1-on-1. All right, now let me utilize Cooks, getting 1-on-1. All right, then Ferg going to do his thing, and the MG, and then it becomes a cycle. But when you get your best player the ball, it opens up everything else. And that's what we started doing, getting CD the ball early on and often, and then everybody else was able to eat off that.
Gavin alluded earlier to Tank's comments yesterday. One of the things that he said was he felt maybe you guys were a little tired, a little fatigued going into that Packers game. Right?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm glad you're saying that.
Everybody tired in the playoffs.
When the playoffs going, man,
whatever it takes. You got San Francisco tired right now, and Kansas City.
It's a long year, but it's a lot sweeter when you're hosting that.
Right.
Exactly.
I don't know what that was about.
You guys have gone through the Super Bowl experience as players, though. How is that leading up to the game? I mean, what's the time right now? What did you think? Like, when you got to Saturday, you're like, holy jeez. I mean, now we're actually going to do this, huh?
Man, you so locked in. Yeah, you can't sleep, but the good thing is most of the time you're smart. You away from all the distractions. And that's when you try to treat it as a normal week as much as you can. Obviously, you got a lot of media throughout the week. But you kind of keep reminding yourself, focus on the task at hand, right?
Yeah.
I do want to ask you guys about these flowers, but you both played for Bill Belichick. Yeah. Are you surprised Bill didn't get a job in this cycle?
I'm so surprised just because, I was with him for 5 years, and that's one of the smartest coaches I ever been around, the smartest coach, especially defensively. Is I wouldn't be the player I am today without, him teaching me, him changing schemes, him telling me how to play a certain receiver. And I'm very surprised, but I just think he's just too real sometimes, and sometimes
new era.
Yeah,
new era.
Can't take it.
the players today can't take that? Is that a problem for the new guys?
They can't take it.
I mean, it's going to be tough. The more and more this NIL stuff is going on, and which, I mean, I love for the guys. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, but it's going to be tough because, you know, when I grew up, like, man, you don't talk back.
Oh, you're
right?
Stockton, California.
You talk back. You know what I mean? So that's what it's all about, blue-collar workers. And it's going to be tough, I feel like, for all these coaches to kind of navigate that water because at the end of the day, I mean, that's what our country was built on, is blue-collar workers. And hey, you work, you do a job, do what you're told to do, and do it the best that you can. You know what I mean?
Stephon, what's your approach to free agency? Would you prefer to be back with the Cowboys?
For sure. I mean, I want to be back, and you know, because I for sure think we have the pieces to beat it, get to where we want to be, and I want to be part of that. And you know, so March is when free agency starts. So
you got to come back with us, bro.
Hopefully we can get something done.
Let's go.
He can't
Let's make it happen.
I need him back.
Yeah, I want to run it back with you know. B. Cooks, you know, all these guys, great players on the team. Have opportunity to play with Bland another year, and Trey coming back off ACL. So
nice job with that.
Three of you, man. That would be
Bland's even dressing like it. I'm watching practice. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. It's two of the same guys out there moving around.
And I know you guys have a message that's going to resonate with a lot of our listeners here with He Gets Us.
Yeah, for sure. He Gets Us is a great organization where, you know, just being good to people. Having great faith, you know, and believing, you know, trying to walk in faith each day, and no matter, you know, what color you are, just where you come from, just treating each other the same and being a blessing each day for one another.
No, absolutely. Just spreading love, no matter what your walk in life is. You may not believe, you may believe, but it's the story of Jesus, right? I mean, he sat with the tax collectors. He sat with the people that wasn't necessarily have all their stuff together, and that's what it's all about. I think people get so afraid and forget about that. Like, man, he loved every single walk of life, no matter, you know, where you came from, what you were doing in life, and that's what it's all about. What He Gets Us. That's what they're doing a great job, is reminding people, like, no one's perfect. We all got problems, so let's love one another, and especially in our world today.
Right on. Brandin Cooks, Stephon Gilmore. A beautiful message.
Thank you, man.
Have a great weekend.
Appreciate it. Always good seeing y'all. See y'all in camp.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can't wait. See you too, Stephon, if they do it right. Appreciate you, buddy.